Hey everyone, I'm King. Welcome back to Kingspade channel. So I posted this video recently. This video tells you that the ROX official Discord had gone through revamp, and now we are actually have a dedicated channel to collect suggestions on anything to improve the game from players. Every week, the top 10 most voted suggestions will be highlighted and bring forth to the game developer for consideration for implementation. That was last week, and this week the Discord admin had revealed the top 10 most popular suggestions for last week. So in this video, we are going to look at all of the 10 most voted, most popular suggestions. What are the players really want now at this time, at this moment for ROX? Alright, before we start, I want to highlight the important thing that the admin said here. All suggestions will be compiled and sent to the game developer, with the top 10 popular ones will be highlighted. These do not guarantee that it will be implemented in the game, as the team will need time to read it, discuss it, consider it, think of ways to work it, and more. So even though your suggestions are not in the top 10, your suggestions will be passed to the game developer nonetheless. And even though the top 10 suggestions are given the highlight, there is still no guarantee that the game developer will implement them in the game. They need to consider a lot of factors before deciding that the suggestion can be incorporated in the game. That being said, here are the top 10 most popular suggestions. Starting with number 10 with 163 upvotes at the time this video is made. It is from Spade. Increase the number of coins that you get from COC mission, fishing contests, and retro costume voting. As of now, the players only get 70 COC coins, 70 fishing coins, and 5 retro costume coins. I especially agree with the retro costume coin. One costume is ranging from 280 to 360 coins. You can only vote once a week, and you will get 5 coins each time you voted. So to accumulate enough coins, you need 56 to 72 weeks. That is also equivalent to 14 to 18 months, more than a year. I mean, if you think that the players have the patience to wait for more than 1 year just to get a costume, you are out of your mind. By you, I mean the game developer. The game developer needs to keep players interested in the game. This long-term planning is not going to work. The new generation of young players do not have the long attention span on anything. They like TikTok, short reels, and so on. It's the same with mobile games. If the game cannot engage the players in short-term planning, players will quit the game. That is what happened in most cases. The game becoming bland and plain. Raging quit from failing refine is just one of the trigger points that the players need to validate the action to quit the game. Next, number 9 with 164 upvotes from Jethro. Update Otherworld Gate reward. The reward given from Otherworld Gate is the most, if not the least used materials to cultivate shadow equipment. A lot of players by now has oversupply of bound, engrave, and validation items. For me, I'm fine with this though. This oversupply of shadow equipment materials are accumulated because I haven't been doing anything on my shadow equipment. It stays at level 4 since the shadow equipment first been introduced. So this is like 1 year of just collecting and doing nothing with it. But I do have plan to increase my shadow equipment level to at least level 6. So when that time comes, I need all of these materials. He suggested that the Otherworld Gate box content to be updated to either selection chest or include pioneers or inscription as well. That will be just the same thing. I would want that to be the shadow equipment weapon materials. I have less materials on these compared to the other shadow equipment items. Next, number 8 with 166 upvotes from Cyborg. Facebook button beside the minimap is useless for most if not all players. Sometimes it can be misclicked. Yes, I agree. I don't see the function of it, and he suggests to remove it and replace it with whatever useful. Here is what useful. If the game intended to remain the guild panel feature, this can be replaced here. Number 7 with 167 upvotes from Jadis. This is quite long, so I'm going to make it short. Basically, his point is that the MVP now takes too much time to kill, up to 30 to 60 minutes. The MVP level keeps increasing with every version update, and it is hard for free-to-play players to kill. Well, this has been going on and on and on. Previously, players complained that the MVP are being killed too fast, and the game developer actually do something about it. Not just Jadif, but a lot of players too said that they are too strong and can't be killed. This is a constant adjustment in the game, and the game haven't found that sweet spot that once and for all solve this problem. He suggested that the MVP and mini level can be leveled backward. He added further that the MVP to have shield for 1 minute, so players have 1 minute period to deal damage, and after that the MVP is weakened for every 30 seconds. I understand that he put the last active server in mind for this suggestion so that players can kill it faster, but for active servers the MVP will be killed in seconds after the 1 minute shield period expired. I take example in my server, Opera Phantom plus Gungnir server, because there are still a lot of wells in this server. Players are still very active. MVP and mini are being killed in average 2 to 3 minutes. Some goes up to 5 minutes, which is acceptable. Not like before, like kill in 6 seconds. Can you imagine that? What I understand from the current version for MVP hunting is that players share that the MVP will restore a little HP when it receives past a certain damage. When the super well deal billion damage in one hit to the MVP, and yes, they deal billion damage now, not million anymore. When they deal past the certain damage threshold set by the game system in one hit, instead of damaging the MVP will restore HP instead, which make it hard for them to kill it. Players said that they even have to use a downgrade equipment to limit the damage to the MVP to actually kill it. If not, the MVP will keep on healing himself and forever can't be killed. So I'm not sure if this is a smart solution to this never-ending problem, but so far this is working, at least in Opera Phantom plus Gungnir server. But in the long run, this is definitely a restriction to the well character development. Their character will keep on progressing further, but now for MVP hunt, it is capped at a damage ceiling. Next, number 6, with 172 votes from Hans. The protection stone now is way too hard to smelt and is expensive to buy. On top of that, for higher level refine, the protected stone will always be needed. He suggests to make the pure and impure jewelstone mining rate higher, or the protection stone is to be consumed for downgrade result when refining as well. I do agree with the increase in mining rate, but then again, there's really no other ways other than to sacrifice your progress and use all of your stamina on smelting to have higher smelt life skill level if you want to smelt the protection stone. I saw a video from Chibo TV recently. He said he used all of his stamina every single day for 2 months just to get his smelt level from level 8 to level 10. So either that or change the smelting system. Maybe add more smelting points to shorten the duration to upgrade the smelting life skill. Next, number 5, with 178 upvotes from Frostbite. The Ymir crystals obtained from Nightmare instance literally useless. The Nightmare chest also contains the same Ymir crystal, which is useless. Suggests that the Ymir crystal can be exchanged for more valuable materials like upgrade, enchant, refine or shadow equipment materials. And yes, for now, you can exchange the Ymir crystals to the same materials that you get from completing the Nightmare instance, resulting in excessive amount of materials that you actually will not run out of. It will be nice if the Ymir crystals can be used to exchange for other materials. Number 4, with 191 upvotes from Mushindo. Remove useless drops from monster, specifically the toy card, because it does not serve any purpose, and suggest to increase the drop rate of card instead. I sense a salty comment, not actually because of the useless drop, but because of the card drop rate. Well, it does have a lot of players' approval. The main point for this suggestion, I think, is to increase the card drop rate. Next, number 3, with 200 upvotes from Irelia. Outdated login reward. Update it to have more advanced upgrade, refine and enchantment box. I recently also watched SGP Bowie. He mentioned one thing about the login daily reward that is really interesting. The reward on Sundays is not worth it, especially to those who have the VIP card. If you get the VIP card privilege to get double reward on weekend, some of the reward on Sunday is this advanced Pegasus, which you can get it in the game at the NPC shop, and it gives you 2 as a VIP. Totally not worth it. So yeah, update the daily login reward. Number 2, with 203 votes from Heat. Well, number 2 and number 1 have the same amount of upvotes, so let's look at this one first. Improve the amount of crystal box daily. As of now, we only get a total of 1.5k crystals by completing it daily due to limited crystal sources, hence this is why the exchange center is dead. Also, clicking the 5 boxes for 1.5k crystals is a chore, but only gets small amount of crystal. Like, what can I do with 1.5k crystal? Buy 10 upgrade metal 4. I believe with more crystal flow, the exchange center will actually move. You have my 1 million upvotes. She is not wrong. More sources of crystal or crystal flow in the game, more active the exchange center transaction will be. If you haven't realized it yet, the biggest factor that makes the server and the exchange center active from the beginning of the game is the conversion of the diamonds to crystal ratio. If there are more players converting their diamonds to crystals, there will be more players that have enough crystals to buy things in the exchange center. Now, who are the players that have diamonds to convert to crystals? It is the sultans and whales. In the beginning of the game, you can get millions of crystals from just selling gardening materials every week. Nowadays, you can get less than 500k crystals every week. Why? Because there are less whales in the game. Most of them had moved to other mobile games, so less players are actually converting the diamonds to crystals, hence less players are actually buying anything in the market. The developer keeps merging the servers, thinking that if there are more players in the game server, the market will be active again. But they forget that the rich players is becoming less and less. By getting more players into the same server, it will just clutter the market even further. But no one is actually buying anything. To boost the economy, they need to introduce systems that can make the average players to be rich in the game. Introduce more crystal sources to players so they can actually have the buying power in the game like the whales. The developer can't just depend on the rich, aka sultans and whales, to keep on spending on their money to keep the game alive. The developer need to work on their part as well, on keeping the game alive. And the last one, with the same amount of 203 upvotes from R7dev. Reduce equipment start transfer cost. Most players now have high upgrade levels, and this comes with expensive equipment start transfer cost. Not all players can AFK 24/7 to earn Zenny for paying the cost of switching to PvP sets. This will enable or encourage more players to play KVM or GVG. Totally agree. Let me just add on to that. The game should also remove the card removing and slotting costs in equipment. It restricts the players from exploring and trying new things for the build. He suggests to reduce by more than 50% of the cost. Make equipment start transfer free during KVM or GVG hours, and plus to minus 30 minutes before and after the event. Create a free equipment start transfer voucher. We now have the pouring gold coin, which acts similar, and give this as a reward to players that participate in KVM or GVG. Alright, that is our top 10 most popular suggestions so far. All these small things that affect the game experience is designed to hinder the players' progress. It is to trick the players on spending more money. Keep sending in suggestions and make ROX a pleasant game to play. That's it for this video. This time video shoutout goes to... Thank you for always supporting me and this channel. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. And also don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. That's it for now. I'll see you on the next video. And as always, happy playing. Bye bye.